Hi everybody, this is Avrohom Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange. The advertising expression goes, diamonds are forever. Well, we're going to find out what kind of diamonds are truly forever and which ones are not. This week's Torah portion is Parshat Toldos, and in it we find Yaakov and Esav, two brothers that are very, very different. And Esav sells his birthright literally for beans. His firstborn right, Yaakov wanted that opportunity, and Esav was not interested. He says, what do I need it for? I will never be resurrected. He didn't believe in the resurrection of the dead. And he wanted what's now? What can I have now? And Yaakov was thinking the long term. What's my job here on earth? And therefore, he wanted to elevate himself to be the firstborn, and he therefore bought the birthright from Esav, who wasn't interested in holiness and spirituality at all. The Chavetz Chaim, saintly Chavetz Chaim, Rizal Meir HaKohen Kagan, gives a beautiful parable to explain this and how it's relevant to us. There was a man who was struggling financially, and he heard about a place where you could become wealthy, and he traveled far and long away from his family and came to this place, and he landed there, and he couldn't believe it. Landed by boat. There are diamonds all over the floor, and he was just so excited. He picked up a diamond, came into the first restaurant. Coke, please. And the guy says, oh, please, get this rock out of here. And he found out that in this place, diamonds have no value because they're all over the place, and they get in people's way. They don't like it. What has value is fish. Okay? So he started doing business with fish and eventually became very successful and very wealthy. And finally, after several years of developing his business, he decided it's time to come home. He sent a message, I'm coming back. And he filled the hold of the boat, of the ship that he prepared, filled with fish. So he's going to be a very wealthy man. He comes back to his home, and as the ship is pulling in, the bad smell, because the fish had not lasted through the journey, and the fish had spoiled. And everyone is waiting to see what happened, and he comes out and he says, I'm here, I have all this wealth, I have all this fish. Now spoiled fish. And I said, what are you talking about? Fish is nice, but that's not wealth. As a matter of fact, you have to use whatever money you have left to get rid of this because it's all spoiled and rotten. And he didn't understand what was going on. And he realized, oh no, what happened here? And his wife happened to find a little bit of a tiny diamond in his jacket and use that to be able to support them somewhat. But he was terribly embarrassed. And he said, oh my gosh, I could have brought all these diamonds back, and I didn't do that. And now all I have is the spoiled fish. We could have been millionaires forever with the diamonds that I had there. And the Chavetz Chaim says this analogy is the soul coming down to this earth. The soul comes with an elevated interest in serving God, and knowing that we're here, each of us have our own purpose in serving the Almighty and getting as many diamonds as we can. And we end up coming to the earth and we start taking the values of earth, money, prestige, power, fancy car, whatever it is, and we buy into that and we forget about the diamonds that this soul is here for and desperately wants to bring that back to the world to come. Desperately wants us to bring it back after 120, hopefully happy and healthy years, to show what we've done. God, we came here and we served you. And we have terrible regret of what we could have done. So I'd like to give you some examples of diamonds that are forever. How about calling somebody who's lonely? Or better yet, even visiting. We can pick 10 things. Calling, visiting, reading some Psalms, praying for that the remains of the last hostages should be returned, and praying for the hostages and their families should have a full and speedy recovery. Or maybe we can talk about Torah study, going to a class, opening up a Torah book and learning something. giving charity to worthy Jewish causes, smiling to somebody you meet, anyone you come in contact with. Do an act of loving kindness, prayer, controlling your anger, sanctifying God's name in all your interactions with everybody at home and at work and at play. And there's so much that we can do to collect the diamonds for our soul. And those diamonds are forever, because the commandments that we fulfill, the mitzvahs, are eternal. And that's what the soul is longing for. More goodness, more holiness, more light, more graciousness, more kindness. And if we do that, then when we return our souls to heaven, we'll be very, very wealthy, because spiritual diamonds are forever. Have a wonderful Shabbos. All the best.